Hey everyone, it's Phil, and it's the middle of the week again, and here we are connecting. Last week I talked a little bit about a course correction for the church, and wanted to touch base on that again. I wanted to ask the question, when you think of the idea of going to church, what comes to mind? Now, of course, right now we aren't physically going to church, but normally when you hear that expression, I'm going to church, you think of physically showing up in the building, usually on Sunday morning, in order to participate in the worship of the whole congregation. At the very least, going to church means I physically show up. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you were to say, I'm going to the doctor, and you get your coat on, you head out the front door, drive over to your doctor's office, walk into the waiting room and sit down, spend an hour in the waiting room, then stand up, walk out again. Could you actually tell people that you had been to the doctor? You'd spent time in the doctor's office, but you never actually visited the doctor. The assumption is when you say, I'm going to the doctor, it means, first of all, you arrive there physically. Secondly, you check in with the receptionist to let them know you're there. Usually they want to know why you're there as well. You wait, but then you actually go in and talk to the doctor. And following that consultation, you have to make a choice. Am I going to follow her advice or am I not? There's an awful lot that's actually involved in going to the doctor. The same is true when we talk about going to church. Going to church really should mean a whole lot more than just physically showing up. We are, as the church, called to actually be a community. And we see that in the book of Acts in the Bible, that the early disciples, the early followers of Jesus, gathered together, and there were all kinds of activities that they participated in together, including learning, praying, eating together, supporting one another financially. There were all sorts of things that happened, but there was a rich community, and they engaged together in the mission of the church. They were part of spreading the good news of Jesus. So when we think about going to church, it really is more than just showing up. But sometimes we settle for that. We think that's good enough. Now, of course, these days we can't even show up to church. But we have found other ways of connecting as a community. I have to say, in the past, there was maybe a little bit of stigma and judgment around those who didn't show up on a Sunday morning, maybe because they couldn't, maybe because lives were busy, but especially some stigma and judgment on those who would watch church online. Now, everybody who is connected to a church community is doing that now. That's just the norm. But at one time, it was looked down on. Part of the reason we looked down on it was because we felt like it was just sort of an easy way out and no one really connected. We know deep down that when we seek out Jesus Christ, when we seek to follow him, we are called to do more than just show up, whether it's at a screen online event or whether it's in the building. Because we are called to slowly take steps into connecting with a community and then engaging in a mission. Now, if you've stuck it out with me in this video so far, then I need to ask something of you. I need you to take some time. If you are someone who's been well connected to the Westview Church, I want you to send me an email. Here's my email address, phil@westviewbaptist.ca. And I'd like you to tell me who are the people at the Westview Church who are helping you to stay connected to community during this time of social distancing. I'd also be interested to know how often you're connecting with them and how you're connecting. Is it by phone? Is it by letter? Is it by email? Is it by Zoom? Is it by FaceTime? That would be really helpful for me to know how you're still staying as a part of the community. Now, for some of you who are connected to Westview, you may not be finding that you're connecting with other people. And I would really like you to take that courageous step and just let me know that. I am not here to coerce anyone, but I am interested to know that you aren't feeling connected to our church community. Because we want to invite you into new ways of being a part of this church family. And you may also be somebody who has no substantial connection to Westview, or maybe your connection is new, maybe it is only online that you have connected with us. And I would like to invite you to email me as well and just let me know that. Let me know that you are kind of checking us out, but no, you're not connected. And if you are interested, we would love to be able to invite you into some of the ways that we are forming community right now. Last week I talked about life groups online. That is something that is ongoing, and we're looking at other rich and new ways of staying a family and creating family and faith. So let me know how you're connecting, or if you aren't. And let's talk about how we can grow in community together, and by growing in community, engage in mission together as well. Stay tuned, stay safe, and stay the course, because life in Jesus Christ is worth it.